Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. I'm Algorithm, or I almost said I'm Stormgate. I am not John Stormgate. You may have heard of the famous John Stormgate. That is not me. I'm Algorithm, or this is Stormgate. This is the game that we love and we like to play. And we're going to watch some Stormgate here today. And one of the stars of this Stormgate match, let me close my little doodad again, is Kim. Kiim12. Kim got 1 year older, I assume, and that's why Kim changed their name from kiim11 to kiim12. That's my assumption. If you know better, let me know. Kim here is playing Celestial, playing in the blue, and Kim's opponent is Kerrigan? What? We have a cross game. We have the Zerg Queen herself representing the Infernal. And if you are the Zerg Queen, you probably would be attracted to the Infernal faction. It makes a little bit of sense to me. But here she is. And she's opened. It looked like that shrine was first, because we got a couple vaults still on the way down here. And I think that might be the first chamber. Yep, we are 3 arc ships from Kim. Triple arc ship from Kim. That's very curious and cool. Then the creation chamber. Vaults arriving here on the infernal side. No units. Yeah, that's an imp going over here. So no brutes, no fiends yet. There we go. There's the fiend scouts. They're gonna hike their way across. It's just a tribute pyre from that imp. Just priming things. This fiend is got different orders than this fiend. They're looking for bases. They're like, where's your base? Ooh, I see a base. This one's like, do you got a base over here? No base. And these fiends are doing more than just looking for bases. They're going to go scout the base, find 3 creation chambers here. This one's even going, they're going in the back. Pro maneuvers from Kerrigan. I'm not surprised. She's probably been playing StarCraft for a decade and knows you gotta hide your little Zergleys. And then they come. Ooh! Kim's gonna take a couple prism losses here already. That's 3 prisms down, actually. But Kim is... We've seen this in other games that he's played. Like, whoa, we like bases.
Dimensional rift
Lots
detected.
of bases.
A Stormgate will activate soon.
Kerrigan's got the 3rd base going down as well. Fiends come in here and find a couple more prisms, but it doesn't look like they're going to get that prism. Instead, they're going to go for this node. It looks like it's a transforming Judicator node. The Judicator node in the back was able to clean that up, so... Stormgate on the map, ready to go. Argent's here from Kim to zippity zoo does. Try and get some Zots on there. Fiends have really nice DPS, but they are squishy little dudes. And in comes a Kree. Fiends don't really want to deal with the Kree. Kree can do some nice damage. And in comes a single Hellborn. 1 Hellborn versus 1 Kree. So we have 2 Fiends and a Kree. It's a really curious composition to start. From Kerrigan, the Fiends don't really... Oh, and a Magmadon, as you do. You build 1 of each unit. And then that's how you win the first Stormgate. That is the meta, if you weren't following. Of course, I'm kidding. I have not seen this style before. I like it. 2 Magmadons. Now, Magmadons are good against Kree. Oh, 3 Magmadons. Yeah, they're good against Kree. They are also good against Argent, so I can kind of see why this might be the opening maneuver. Those 2 Fiends are still alive. That's cool. And up the ramp we go. This node gets taken out in no time. Uh-oh. Wow. Like, I want to call that intentional positioning here. That Magmadon is intentionally zoning the Kree away. Now they get the surround on the Hellborn with 1 rollout. The other Magmadons on the high ground have to march back, but they're in their trample mode. 1 might go down, indeed it does, but Kree are falling all around. And a bunch of Gaunts show up to support. What a curious, interesting attack style. I really love it. And these two fiends come back. Where were they? Did they find something to chew on? I hope they did. That would have been cool. So what an interesting style of play coming out of Kerrigan here. I guess that's what you get when you have a StarCraft 2 crossover. Kree rolling out, trying to get on top of some effigies here. But a lot of Kree are going down with not the damage that they would hope to get. That's just because a lot of army here. Still only 2 Magmadons. Remember, one of the Magmadons was used with the Soul Stone, or whatever it's called, Soul Forge. Another Judicator node is probably going to go down to this little attack. Does it heal itself up when surged? Because it seems to be gaining life at a crazy rate. If that's how fast it heals, that is ridiculous. But yeah, it looks like it's healing itself up, which means that this attack actually is kind of going down. Finally, that Judicator node dies, but it really tanked a ton of damage in that battle, which really helps Kim defend here. Now, one Hellborn still staying alive, but the 2 Magmadons have gone down. Another pushback from Kim as his Kree and Argent reinforcements show up, trying to get on top of the Gaunts and get as many kills as they can before they go down. Kree are pretty resilient. They used to be squishier, but now they're, you know, very effective frontliners. And we're seeing more Brutes and Gaunts going down. A single Magmadon shows up, but late for the battle. Gonna walk home. Try and regroup. What's going on over here? We have a single Tribute Pyre. So there's a Gremlin out. It's gonna shoot, but the Prism's just turned to attack the Pyre, which is what you should do. The Pyre is healing itself up. Do a little base check here. There's a 4th base going down for Kerrigan. Now remember, Kim was multiplying bases early and is on, I guess, 5 right now. Small little force of Kree and Argent show up here, and Kerrigan's able to deal with that. So no real losses there on Kerrigan's side. But the Tribute Pyre up here was taken out by the Prisms, which means this base is now uncontested by Kim. There is a Tribute Pyre here too. I like these kind of forward Tribute Pyres. They're scouts, but they also prevent a base. And there's a little push going on here. As more Magmadons had shown up, there's 4 Mags here, just full trampling. Good maneuver by Kim to pull the Kree back during the trample, as all the Magmadons were trampling at the same time. Means you have a pretty good window while the cooldown's off. Nice! We got all the Magmadons trampling again, and some Void Prowlers show up. Did not even notice there was a Stormgate going down there. Another Magmadon shows up, but yeah, decides to pull back. Regroup. So it's Mags and Gaunts that we're seeing right now. Vectors being added. Those Void Prowlers coming from the Tier 2 Stormgate. Armies going back and forth. Oh, why is that? Because the Gremlins over here are still being quite annoying. And Gaunts here going for this base on the island. Trample from the Magmadons, but kind of a full surround on them. One of them goes down. You don't want to lose your whole army to the 2 Mags, but if you can take them out while they're vulnerable, that's what you want to do. Of course, getting full surround on Mags is a very risky thing to do. More Gaunts added. Magmadon trying to trample some trees. And the Gaunts pulled out on the front line there, which is not great. So a lot of them went down. Still, they did get a lot of damage done in that little push out.
Soon.
And now Kerrigan's pushed to the edge of her shroud there. She wants to stay on there, but there's so many units just randomly scattered around here. And forgive me, there's also a cannon rush going on down at the bottom.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Also a shroud stone. Don't see those a lot anymore. They're not considered to be particularly strong. We do have a Stormgate in the middle of the map that's also being targeted. And it looks like mostly this tower rush has been cleaned up. Now it's just a static D versus static D. More being added in the back here though. And the Stormgate's still being battled for as Kerrigan moves in with her army trying to kill the Argents. The Argents are in full retreat back to their defensive high ground position. And once again, these Judicator loads are incredibly resilient. The army swiping around with their tree and vectors there. More Magmadons, really chaotic battle, spanning a couple different screens here. Hard to sort of keep track, especially if you're microing. I'm just microing the camera. It's hard to follow everything that's going on here. But it does look like some of the expensive units, the Mags and the Hellborn, are going down for Kerrigan. And nonetheless, Kim's units also are going down, so it's still just a stream of reinforcements coming in. Whose reinforcements are going to get the upper hand? Down at the bottom here, a lot of Kree go down, so we've got a regrouped army coming up from Kerrigan. There is still a Stormgate here. I don't know if I would be attacking into it. It's got very little time left on the countdown. Unlikely that anyone's going to claim it. Hellborn goes down. Another Hellborn, at least one Kree targeting her. And, well, Kerrigan's coming out on top so far. Another Magmadon with a really nice trample there to get some stun lock on the Kree. Couple Kree go down as a result. But the regrouped Vectors and Kree come in on the back end and are getting free damage on the Magmadons there. Boom! All the Magmadons turn and say, fine, we're going to trample out to you. And then turn and retreat again. That's a good maneuver when you're trying to retreat with Magmadons. The trample can be used as a retreat as well. Hellborn unfortunately caught out here. She's going to get picked off. Only gets a Vector for that. More Kree showing up. Trying to get some vulnerable units, but instead rolling away to the left. What's this? A few Vectors over here fighting Gaunts. While the Kree here get cleaned up by Magmadons. Few Vectors there. What's going on here? Vectors also trying to fight this position, which is somewhat defended. Brutes here with some Gremlins. And it looks like all the Vectors are going to rotate around here. While we've got a Magmadon defending on the ramp. Kerrigan's army comes down to the bottom left base here. It's trying to get some free kills on prisms, but there are some Vectors here, and more Vectors are coming around to try and help. At the moment, they're caught on some static D. Prisms decide it's better to run. Magmadon's just trying to get those free prism quick kills. Although with the army of Kim showing up, Kerrigan's going to want to regroup and fight army to army. Right now, Kree getting on top of some vulnerable units, but out come the Magmadons. Nice stomps. Lots of Kree going down in that trample. And Brutes in the back getting actually killed as well. It looks like Kim comes out on top of this. Shroud fall on the whole map. Reinforcements showing up, and all the Gaunts getting caught on this Archit. That's what you want if you're Kim, because that means that Magmadon gets focus fired down. In come the Imps. Flame on, baby! Here they go, taking out a lot of Vectors for very cheap, inexpensive units. More coming on top of the Sabers. Ay, ay, ay. They do get, but do not kill any of the Sabers. Most of the other units cleaned up here. More Imps on the march through. Kim definitely has had the eco advantage here, and it looks like Kerrigan is on the last limbs, trying to just march the Imps in, flame them on. There's the GG.